compliance in contract execution and documentation. Full cooperation during this audit period is expected. For inquiries and other information, visit the BPP's website on www.bpp.gov.g. Announcer, Dr. Adebowale A. Adedokun, the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the Bureau of Public Procurement.
The implementation of the ruling is also dependent on another aspect or another arm of government.
Forests are vital ecosystems that play a crucial role in maintaining the balance of our planet's biodiversity. Nigeria is blessed with vast forests, and the preservation of these forests is critical in sustaining the ecosystem, supporting wildlife, and providing valuable resources. But when these forests become a haven for criminal syndicates to breed, it is worrisome. As part of efforts to strengthen national security, President Bola Tinubu on May 15, 2025, approved the creation of the National Forest Guard system as part of measures to address Nigeria's escalating security challenges. Now, if you recall, in December 2025, the Office of the National Security Advisor announced the graduation of over 7,000 newly recruited forest guards drawn from 7 frontline states following the completion of an intensive 3-month training program under the Presidential Forest Guards Initiative. A deliberate step, if you want to put it that way, towards restoring state security and protecting vulnerable communities. These forest guards, who are meant to protect the country's 1,129 forests from terrorists and criminal gangs, have been described as the force responders, community protectors expected to hold ground, gather intelligence, and support security agencies in reclaiming territories overtaken by criminal elements. Tonight, on Weekend File, we examine efforts in securing Nigeria's forests, policy direction, interagency collaboration, and partnerships with state governments and local communities, of course. Our guest is Mohammed Kabir. He's the Assistant Conservator General from the National Parks Service. Thank you for joining us. Of course, you know this is Weekend File. I'm Ruth Aguele. Before we delve into the issues, let's start with latest developments from across the country. The Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Muhammadu Sa'ad Abubakar, has called on Nigerians to cultivate a patriotic mindset that will inspire them to work together towards salvaging the nation. He made the call during a private visit by Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, to his palace. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports.
Her second visit to Sokoto, but more of a homecoming to the seat of the Caliphate, where the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, alongside other members of the First family, has enjoyed tremendous support. A royal fanfare ushered her into the palace of her host, the Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar, where she reflected on the support of the royal father in promoting renewed hope initiatives interventions at the national and subnational levels.
From the inception of this administration, despite we are trying to build a lot of programs, you would think that His Eminence actually live in Abuja. Is always there. I would wonder how, but every time, looking at us, are we going to do the right thing? But he's been there present all the time. I only came here to just say 2 words. Thank you, Your Eminence, for all you've done since the inception of this administration. But your brother is the president, which you know, you've been friends a long time.
Describing the first lady as the most precious guest the seat of the caliphate has ever had since the inception of the Bola Tinubu administration, the Sultan applauds her transformative interventions for changing the narratives for vulnerable groups and encouraged her to continue to complement efforts by the president to reshape the infrastructural landscape of the country with legacy projects, including the Sokoto-Badagry Road project.
We followed what you have been doing all over the country, and we're happy for you for what you have been doing, and you have touched millions and millions of people's lives, and that's what we believe somebody should do, so that when he departs this world, because we all must depart, people will say, yes, we remember Oludemi Tinubu for doing this and that and this. So we keep on praying for you. We're happy to have you home. Don't believe in so many things that people write and say things wrongly. We believe Almighty Allah does what He wants to do through anybody He wants to do things for or with.
Insisting that solutions to challenges facing the country can only come from Nigerians, the Sultan says now is the time for citizens to stand by their country in its quest for peace, security, and development.
The more we sit together, the more we talk to one another together, the more solutions we have to approach. Alhamdulillah, so far, we are seeing a lot of positive things developing. All these bandits, terrorists, criminals all over the world, harassing us, harassing our lives. We keep on praying that Almighty Allah will touch their lives and they will repent, and really repent fully, and go back to the way we are supposed to be.
Your Excellency, you have championed people-centered programs.
Under his instruction, special prayers were held for the Bola Tinubu administration and sustainable peace in the land. From Sokoto, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
In other news, following Vice President Kashim Shettima's agro-industrial visit to Benin Republic, 6 state governors we hear have pledged to draw practical lessons from the Glo-Jigbe industrial zone as Nigeria intensifies efforts to establish agro-industrial processing hubs, revive domestic manufacturing, and create employment. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports that the governors spoke after the inspection of the integrated industrial zone near Cotonou, where cotton, cashew nuts, soybean, and other agricultural commodities are processed into finished and semi-finished products. The governor said the GD's model demonstrated how deliberate government policy, reliable infrastructure, and private sector investment could link farmers to processors, reduce the export of raw commodities, and create jobs across agricultural and manufacturing value chains.
We will take what we've learned from here to Nigeria while we're implementing us. In Nigeria, we're working with the states are working with the federal government, African Development Bank, and the Islamic Development Bank in developing the infrastructure.
We are satisfied with what we have seen, and I think if properly replicated in Nigeria, each state advancing on her comparative advantage, it will create the prosperity we are looking for.
Honestly, it gives me courage because this is something that I wanted to do. It's part of a legacy I want to leave for Zamfara State.
I think in Jigawa we are trying to see how we can add value, especially with our product, agricultural product. Value addition on the agricultural product will help us create jobs for our people.
What this has taught me is the intentionality behind the success. It's not something that can just happen by chance. Katsina happens to be the major textile cotton producer in the country, and we are doing very well in soybeans. And these are all things that have comparative and competitive advantage in our state.
Visit is said to be an African pair learning mission intended to help Nigerian states avoid costly mistakes and adopt tested industrial practices. Reliable electricity and telecommunications services remain out of reach for many rural communities in Nigeria, limiting access to digital opportunities, education, healthcare, and economic activities. In view of this, the Nigerian Communications Commission and the Rural Electrification Agency have signed a memorandum of understanding to expand renewable energy-powered telecom infrastructure in underserved communities. Chimdema in the BC reports.
Rural communities like Ibuatu in Gwagwalada Area Council of the FCT, with access to digital facilities, are able to link locals to doctors across the country through telemedicine. This is besides providing access to other telecom services. But without reliable electricity to power the infrastructure, the promise of digital health care and other essential services remains fragile. It is a gap the federal government now seeks to close through a stronger partnership between two of its agencies, the Nigerian Communications Commission and the Rural Electrification Agency.
First of all, by signing this MOU, we're establishing the institutional framework. And a lot of this collaboration is going to rely on mapping and data. You have towers that are relying on diesel right now. Now we're trying to move them to be powered by mini-grids. That we're having cheaper and cleaner energy, and this will bring down the cost of operation.
In rural area where electricity is the challenge, the provisioning of mini-grids, both the existing and the planned one in the future, will make it easy for us to have seamless connectivity. The base stations will continue to be powered.
Telecom and power sector stakeholders agree that the collaboration will chart practical pathways for expanding digital infrastructure, supporting the federal government's digital inclusion and sustainable development agenda. In Abuja, Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
And still on boosting digital ecosystem, 10 months into construction, the Hajjaj Zoik digital market in Kano has crossed the 50% completion milestone. The developers say the project envisioned as a modern commercial ecosystem for electronics and technology trade is expected to create thousands of jobs and strengthen Kano's position as a regional commercial hub. Fatima Sanusi Karai will tell us more.
With construction over 50% complete, the Hajjaj Zoik digital market is steadily taking shape as a modern commercial ecosystem designed to strengthen electronics and technology trade in Kano and across West Africa. The 30 billion naira project will provide more than 1,300 purpose-built business units and create over 8,000 direct and indirect jobs, opening up new opportunities for technology businesses and skilled professionals.
This is an opportunity not just for Kano, not just for northern Nigeria, but for the entire Africa. We look forward to receiving people from Niger, Chad, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso to come down to Kano. Instead of you traveling all the way to China to buy bulk material, you could come down to Kano and place your order no matter the number of quantities.
This is the trend all over the world. Without digitization, business will remain as usual.
As part of the milestone event, developers took stakeholders on an inspection of the project, showcasing the progress achieved within the first 10 months of construction, while reaffirming their commitment to delivering the market on schedule.
So far, 60% to 65% of this market is sold out. And everything you see here is developed in less than 10 months. And we're hoping, inshallah, from now to the next 8 months, this market will be officially declared open.
Upon completion, the market is expected to stimulate investment, support innovation, and reinforce Kano's long-standing reputation as one of West Africa's foremost commercial centers. In Kano, Fatima Sanusi Karai, NTA News.
The Preparation for the completion of the 3 zone project in Gombe State may exceed the contractual period slated for execution of the project. Now, this is because the project suffered a setback due to a collapse while construction is still ongoing. Emmanuel Akila reports that this is the position of the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN, who sought to find out reasons why part of the House of Assembly project collapsed.
In November 2024, Governor Muhammad Yahya performed a groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of the High Court complex and Gombe State House of Assembly. In 2025, the foundation for the state secretariat followed to complete what the state government tagged the 3 zone. Midway into construction of the State House of Assembly, which would cost the state government over 14 billion naira, tragedy struck. Part of the building collapsed, leading to the death of one person while others sustained injuries. 2 weeks after those who sustained injuries have been discharged from hospital, Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN, visits Gombe State and sets up an investigation panel to find out the cause of the collapse.
This structure have failed, and even if they have to continue, we have to also do what we call integrity check on other existing structures to ensure that it's still sound before even rectifying the one that have, failed.
Want to do any investigation, there are basic things that you have to look at. Design, you understand, is the problem from the design? Is it from the work itself? So many things that we will have to look at.
The report of the committee that has been set up by the COREN register will be looked into and to be fully implemented. And I'm very sure it will go a long way in ensuring that this kind of event doesn't happen in future.
The panel pledged making its findings public, and anyone found wanting be appropriately sanctioned, as the primary objective of investigation into such incidents is to ensure public safety by enforcing due diligence not only on building projects but all construction projects in Nigeria. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
PZ Cussons Nigeria PLC has introduced another skincare option for Nigerian consumers with the unveiling of Stella Deep Moisture Lotion, its latest cosmetic brand. Lynn Leneke will tell us all about that.
The official launch of Stella Deep Moisture Lotion, the newest product to PZ Cussons' Stella Care range, is a reaffirmation of the company's commitment to delivering quality personal care products to Nigerian consumers. Highlighting the importance of innovation to PZ Cussons, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer PZ Cussons Nigeria PLC explained that the launch reflects its continued investment in research, innovation and consumer-focused product development.
Innovation is central to our growth at PZ Cussons. It allows us to continue to respond in real time and with urgency to consumer needs, consumer wants. And what we've done now is lean on that iconic heritage. But we combine that with modern innovation, modern consumer insights, produce a product that absolutely meets today's consumer needs, crucially.
Companies' representatives say the uniqueness of Stella Deep Moisture Lotion is their commitment to maintaining high-quality standards.
This lotion is so great because it contains well-known moisturizers. Talking about glycerin, you're talking about things like aloe vera, you're talking about rich oils that help to soften and keep the skin soft. Stella Lotion is for the family, so it means everybody in the household can use it. Also the fact that it relieves dryness, so if you have dry skin, you should be using Stella. And the fact that it also leaves you with soft and glowing skin, so it means that your skin will be healthy, and we are happy with the feedback we've been getting today. Everybody that's been interacting with the products can attest to the fragrance, the long-lasting moisturization. We can't wait for the rest of the Nigerian community to experience.
The launch of Stella Deep Moisture Lotion marks another milestone in PZ Cussons Nigeria's drive to deliver innovative skincare solutions for Nigerian consumers. In Lagos, Lynn Leneke, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu heartily congratulates David Umahi, Minister of Works, on his birthday today. President Tinubu commends Engineer Umahi for his passion, dedication to duty, and deep sense of patriotism. In a birthday message through his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the President urges the minister to accelerate road construction, rehabilitation, and delivery in line with the renewed hope agenda's objectives objective of improving citizens' quality of life and boosting economic activity. He wishes the minister good health and renewed strength as he continues to serve the nation. Vice President Kashim Shettima today attended the wedding reception of the daughter of former Nigeria's Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai. The reception was organized to celebrate the union between Aisha Tukur Buratai and Umar Abba Zuru, as the wedding solemnization was held 3 months ago. Vice President Kashim Shettima described good family values as an essential room for having a good society, appreciating both families' historical record that has impacted on many livelihoods.
To both families, I congratulate you for raising children who still believe in commitment at a time when many have grown cynical about marriage. The investments parents make is rarely announced in public. It is hidden in sleepless nights, quiet prayers, and silent anxieties. And days such as this, one revealed that none of it was spent in vain. As we rejoice, we must remember when we are the young, who should be able to dream of stable homes without fear of tomorrow. The future of any nation is decided around dining tables and within the moral architecture of families rather than in conference halls.
I want to also appreciate and thank the family of the groom who have been with us since the solemnization of the marriage almost 3 months ago. They have kept faith and they have remained resolute and confident to this day.
State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports that the wedding reception held at the Tukur and Tukur farms along Abuja Kefi Road brought together family and friends of the former Nigeria's Army Chief. We're taking a break now. When we come back, we'll be having our conversation on securing Nigeria's forests. How far? So far. Stay tuned.
Heart of Owerri, business never sleeps. From sunrise to sundown, the wheels keep turning. And behind the scenes, vision meets action. Governor Hope Uzodimma's leadership has turned manifestos into reality, transformations that feel like a miracle. But progress means peace, and in Imo, it's not left to chance. From land to sky to river deep, guardians are watching, protecting dreams and opportunity. At Orashi's quiet shore, hydropower is rising, set to energize a growing economy. The change is visible. New roads emerge, industry hums, communities come alive. At the center, a digital revolution. 500,000 young minds trained each year to build the future. As Orashi rises, so does Imo and the hopes of a hard-working people. A new Imo is on the rise.
Confidence is important in life's little moments. Strong teeth can help, even if they get her into trouble sometimes. A great smile is useful to break the ice, and making friends is easier when you know you have fresh breath. I give my family confidence with Pepsodent Triple Protection 123. Its antibacterial action formula gives them cavity protection, white teeth, and fresh breath. Get whiter teeth with a new Pepsodent Natural Charcoal Toothpaste.
The gold standard of rice, the finale. High swelling index, non-sticky, no stones. Big Bull Gold, the gold standard of rice.
Our bodies get serums, washes, lotions, cleansers, scrubs, but underarms only get deodorant? That's why our new breakthrough formula contains pure hyaluron and vitamin C to deeply care for your underarms for a softer and even skin tone in 2 weeks. With 72-hour sweat and odor protection, try the new Nivea Derma Control Natural Tone, because your underarms deserve more. Nivea is for skin.
I have a good formula here. Let me check.
With
purchases up to 10 million naira, you receive a free medical checkup.
There's one more thing.
Dining coupon from Istanbul Cafe and Restaurant.
Sir, just a moment.
You also receive complimentary facial cosmetic treatment.
Also,
a luxury cutlery set for your home.
One final thing.
Because your purchase is 10 million naira and above, you also qualify for our car prize draw.
Wow. All you came here to buy furniture.
Rental furniture.
Mike, so maybe wants that jollof.
What's jollof?
That smoky jollof.
All right, let me order.
No, that one from the neighbor.
Mike. Sorry to disturb you.
Your wife. I got you.
Are you sure you're not burning firewood here? No. It's the new no smoky party jollof seasoning.
Enjoy the new Nora Smoky Party Jollof seasoning for that real delicious taste of Smoky Party Jollof.
Thank you for staying tuned. Nigeria's forests are increasingly becoming hideouts for kidnappers, bandits and other criminal elements, posing a growing threat to lives, livelihoods and national security. Charles Alpha brings us this report on stemming forest-based security incidents.
For generations, farmers tilled the rich soil, the forest heart, to offer humanity. Hunters brought meat to the villages, and elders passed down legends of spirits and ancestors that watched over the land.
These people get their livelihood like fish, like periwinkle, and other things around that place.
But as time passed, all these became a distant folklore many of the present generation wouldn't believe existed. This is because insurgents, bandits and terrorists now use these places for carrying out unimaginable terror. In the depths of Sambisa Forest, Boko Haram found sanctuary, building a base to launch attacks, kidnap school children, and challenge the sovereignty of the Nigerian state. In the northwestern forest, armed bandits established camps, carrying out mass abduction, rustling cattle, and extorting rural communities.
A lot of arms get into circulation in Nigeria through the forest.
The forest turned lawless, ruled by militias and warlords who thrived in chaos. Residents near these forests fled their homes, with schools shut down and roads deserted. The sounds of birds and rustling leaves were replaced by gunfire and the cries of the displaced. The forest, once a symbol of life, had become a corridor of death. But is there hope? The Nigerian government has launched a series of military operations aimed at reclaiming these territories. Operation Lafia Dole in the northeast, later renamed Operation Hadinkai, targeted Boko Haram's strongholds in the Sambisa forest. Drones, fighter jets, and elite troops began relentless campaigns, flushing out insurgents and rescuing captives. Beyond military might, there have been calls for integrating vigilante networks into formal security structures. Forest guards who often man these forests are without arms that measure up those carried by the insurgents. The president announced the establishment of forest guards for states, a show of efforts to reclaim the forest.
We must begin to allow communities take their roles in forest management.
With a renewed focus on reclaiming these green lands, there lies a chance not just to fight terror, but to restore the forests to what they once were, a sanctuary of life, not for death. Protecting Nigeria's green areas is not merely about preserving wildlife. It is about securing communities, mitigating climate risk, creating economic opportunities, and fulfilling global commitments. And as environmental challenges grow more complex, one message cannot be ignored. Conservation is no longer optional. It is an essential pillar of Nigeria's national development and long-term resilience.
Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Now, the increasing use of Nigeria's forests as safe havens for kidnappers and other criminal elements has intensified calls for stronger security measures and more effective forest governance across the country. In Ondo State, for instance, stakeholders say securing the nation's forests is vital to secure societies. Let's hear more from Abdul Karim Ahmed.
Nigeria's forests remain one of the country's most valuable natural assets, providing livelihoods, preserving biodiversity, and contributing to climate regulation. In recent years, however, many forest reserves have come under increasing pressure. The development has disrupted farming activities and heightened security concerns in several parts of the country.
Our men have been on 24/7 patrol in the last 3 months, and this had massively reduced the incidence of kidnapping.
The state government also collaborate with joint task force to move to the forest reserve so that we gather information just to make sure that they are not seeing our forest reserve as an harbor for kidnapping.
Stakeholders also stress that the active participation of host communities is essential to protecting the forest, noting that timely intelligence sharing and community vigilance remain critical to sustaining the gains recorded in the fight against forest-related crimes. In Akure, Abdul Karim Ahmed, NTA News.
Niger State's vast forests, valued for timber and wildlife, are now on the front line in the fight to secure north-central Nigeria amidst security threats bedeviling the country. With over 5 million hectares stretching to the edge of the FCD, the state is launching new operations to flush out bandits. Fatima Usman reports.
The state occupies the largest landmass of any state in Nigeria. With that comes more than 5 million hectares of forest cover, home to Kainji Lake National Park, and recently the upgrading of Alawa Games Reserve to a national park. The ecological assets are of recent placing it at a disadvantage as emerging security threats of terrorism, banditry and kidnapping makes the once pride of the state a strategic security concern.
The forest provides a lot of economic potential. There are available laws, you understand me, that prohibited tree felling in Niger State. Production of charcoal, timber and commercial foliage is illegal based on that law.
As a state government, it's for us to be able to give our support in terms of local intelligence as well as logistic support wherever needed. So it's part of what the state government is doing at the moment.
Conservator General in Kanji are working with the DSS, with the military, with the police, even the civil defense. All of us are working together with this forest guard newly established to police our forest.
The state is not just protecting its own people, it is also protecting a key gateway to the nation's capital. In Mina, I am Fatima Usman, NTA News.
All right, let's welcome our guests. We have the Assistant Conservator General from the National Park Service, Mohammed Kabir. Thank you for joining us, ACG.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for having me on this program. And warm greetings for my Conservator General, Dr. Ibrahim Musagoni, who is not available to be part of this program. So I'm representing him here.
Okay, well understood. Good to have you. Let's delve into the issues right away. The core mandate, for the National Park Service is to conserve this ecosystem, around these parks and, of course, the forest. But how would you say security challenges, having these criminals use this forest as having affected your core mandate?
Well, as you said, the core mandate of the National Park Service is the conservation of wildlife, the protection of the ecosystem, promoting of tourism, and supporting research work. But in recent years, as a result of heightened insecurity in the country, especially in the rural areas where we have the forest reserves, the game reserves, and the national parks, there is now a lot of challenges with what we used to do. Conservation was then just about patrolling these parks of illegal hunters, wood collectors, probably fishermen.
And poachers.
Yes, and poachers. Yeah. But unfortunately, we are now facing a new challenge. We have organized groups that have now come into these areas. Kidnappers, you have the bandits, the terrorists, and even cattle rustlers. So conservation now is not just about patrolling these areas, but it is now about conservation and ensuring that you secure the areas. Now you need to secure the parks, you need to secure the communities where these parks are located, and then we also need to work along with the state governments to ensure that these areas that are forest and game reserves, over 1,000 of them, are secured. So therefore, conservation has totally changed from the way it used to be. From just conserving, we now have to put the aspect of securing the environment as well. So therefore, we need to secure the parks, secure the environment, secure the communities, and ensure that all these bandits, the criminal elements, have no safe havens in these national parks.
So ICG, I could just imagine how tasking that could be, because that is also depleting the economic viability that we could harness, from this forest, talking about the ecosystem. But let's look at your collaboration with other security agencies. We saw the police officer who rightly put it that there is, a strong collaboration, but I want to hear from you. Are you really getting that?
Well, you cannot do it alone. Everybody has to be on board. All the security agencies, the police, the civil defense, the military, we have to all come together. Security is such that, one agency cannot do it alone. Just like I said earlier, these things are evolving. The security challenges are now evolving from what it used to be to now a very sophisticated activities by some of these criminal elements. So therefore, one agency cannot do it alone. All the agencies have to come together, especially the military, the police, the civil defense, the DSS, even the local vigilantes. Everybody has a role to play in intelligence gathering, where information is shared among all the agencies of government so that we are able to, nip these situations in the bud. So I think it's very important that there is a strong synergy, collaboration among all the security agencies to ensure that our parks are protected, to ensure that the forest reserves and game reserves are also protected.
Okay, ACG, we would like to take a break, and when we come back, I'd like us to speak to the Forest Guard initiative that was, introduced by the president. We'll take that after the break.
It goes to the most punctual student of the entire school. And the winner is Lisa Solomon.
Something is telling me that she makes her daughter skip breakfast just to be here. You people could have just asked. I would have been happy to tell you my secret.
Enjoy instant goodness with John Vent's 3-in-1 chocolate. The quickest start to your morning.
My morning ritual starts here, surrounded by life-made furniture. From my wardrobe to my bed, life-made furniture's whole house customization designs every piece to perfection. I love that in Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, Ibadan, and Kano, there's LifeMade Furniture.
For a whole house customization and furniture projects, call 081-2000-6000 or visit elifemade.com. LifeMade, your life made forever.
Good, tasty food is worth living for. Worried about your oil every time you enjoy your favorite meal? Introducing Smart Balance. Smart Balance Rice Bran Oil is rich in Gamma Original, Golden Terra. Smart Balance Oil reduces bad cholesterol.
Mike, the baby wants that jollof.
What's jollof?
That smoky jollof.
All right, let me order.
No, that one from the neighbor.
Mike. Sorry to disturb you.
Your wife.
I got you.
Are you sure you're not burning firewood there?
No, it's the new no-smoky party jollof seasoning.
Baby wants new Knorr Smoky Jollof.
Enjoy the new Knorr Smoky Party Jollof seasoning for that real delicious taste of Smoky Party Jollof.
Every great stew comes down to one moment. The moment that decides everything. When the tomato paste meets the oil, fries well, blooms deep red color, and gives off rich aroma. And when it blends well with everything else in the pot, I see it's all coming together. New Tasty Tom fries well, blends well, shines in the moment.
My love, you shine so bright.
Thank you for staying. Security forces in Zamfara State are now shifting strategy, taking the fight directly into the state's vast forest, long used as hideouts by bandits and other criminal groups. Halil Mohammed reports.
Yes, the vast forests across Zamfara State have provided cover for camps where kidnappings were planned and ransom victims held hostage. Joint operations recently launched are now targeting those enclaves head-on. In the past 2 months, these operations have continued, particularly in Anka, Gumi, and Kauranamoda local government areas. Many camps have been dismantled, kidnapped victims rescued, and large weapons as well as herds of cattle recovered.
The fight now is winning in greater numbers than it used to be in the past.
The Zamfara State government has also integrated the community protection guards into the broader security architecture in forest communities.
If this offensive is not being launched in Zamfara State, it should also be launched in Katsina, Kaduna on the Sunday.
For communities across the state, the hope is that taking the fight to the criminal hideouts and sustaining it will finally bring lasting relief. In Gusau, Halliru Muhammad, NTA News.
Across the southeast, the cry for safety has grown louder as communities living at the edge of these forests bear the brunt of violence. Yet, in Enugu and Anambra states, a new resolve is emerging to take back the forest, not with force alone, but with intelligence. Chimaroke Ugu reports.
Nigeria's forests have shifted from national asset to security threats. Dense forest reserves now serve as hideouts for kidnappers, bandits, and other criminal groups. In the southeast, Enugu and Anambra states are leading efforts to reclaim these spaces through a coordinated approach. The strategy rests on 3 intercontinental pillars: intelligence gathering, community engagement, and state-led security initiatives.
We are doing it
trust and confidence of the communities. As of today, I can still tell you the forest guard in Enugu State is doing very, very well. And the government is actually supporting the security agencies.
We have dismantled a whole lot of criminal dams, and we intend to sustain it. And it's as a result of the partnership of these forest guard services and also members of the communities.
Despite progress, challenges remain. Intelligence efforts are hampered by agency silos and poor equipment. Community engagement faces fear of reprisals, while state operations are limited by funding and difficult terrain. In Enugu, Chimaroke Ubu, NTA News.
All right, ACG, let's pick up with the Forest Guard initiative. I'd like to know how they're working closely with the Rangers. In December last year, you recall 7,000 were recruited through the office of the NSA. And although it was drawn from few frontline states, but I'd like to hear how well so far.
Well, first of all, let me start by commending our president, Bola Tinubu, for this initiative. You know, it's a game changer. The forest guards were selected, especially those that went through the training in the first phase, were selected based on their knowledge of the forest areas. Because first of all, they are from those particular areas, they know the forest terrain, and they are part of that community. So that was one of the criteria that was used in selecting these forest guards. So even before the commencement of their training, they were already conversant with what is expected of them, because many of them were already involved in those community policing of those areas. So with the screening, now came the training. They went through the training. After 3 months of training, just like the report rightly said, they were now deployed back to these communities where they came from. So it's about sending people back to communities they are conversant with, so that it will now become very easy for them to really, patrol these areas. They understand the community. They know who is who in that community. So the job is already cut out for them. So with that, it was a big game changer. It has really assisted in intelligence gathering. This intelligence are now passed to other securities where they now utilize this information and then carry out targeted patrols or operations to some of these areas where these bandits are located. And then also, secondly, the activities of the forest guards is such that, they are the front line. When it comes to the protection of the community, they are the front line. Yeah. So information quickly comes to them.
Okay.
And then this information is passed to the other security agents that use it to work. Just like also the report mentioned, they also work with the Operation Hiding K in the northeast, the Operation Pansanyama in the northwest. So all these areas are where the forest guards are engaged. And also the National Park Service Rangers also work together with these forest guards to secure the areas also around the national parks as well. So it's assisting in the protection of our resources. So I think the Forest Guard initiative is a very good approach. It's a game changer. And our prayer is that this is extended across the country where some of these states are yet to key into this program.
ACG, very quickly now, I'm going to ask you 2 questions and I need you to respond briefly. The aspect of what you need, talking about the Rangers now for the Park Service, in terms of funding, logistics to help, improve your capacity. That's on one side. The other side, are you getting intelligence from communities around this forest, to help make your job seamless?
Yeah, I said earlier that, the security challenges are now evolving. We are facing more security challenges. They are not the hunters that we used to know. Now we are facing bandits, kidnappers, and the rest. So we need improved equipment. We need communication. Communication needs to be improved so that we'll be able to, cover some of these areas of the parks that we manage are vast, very large in areas. Like the biggest of all the national parks is about over 6,000 square kilometers. I think which is even bigger than some parts of the states in this country. So we need communication. The areas are very vast, they are remote, so communication is very important. Mobility is very important. We need surveillance. Technology, we need to also leverage on technology to cover some of the areas that are so remote to cover. So technology is very important. And then also area surveillance, such as maybe helicopters, where it can be used to cover the large areas of the park. All these are very important in addressing the security challenges that we are facing.
All right, you didn't tell us if you expect more community intelligence to be trusted.
Yes, all right. The communities are not just our neighbors. They are our partners, and they are our first line of defense. So it's important that we get good intelligence from these communities. They are the ones staying very close to these parks, where we have our national parks, where we have the forest reserve. The communities are the ones staying right beside these areas. So they know who comes into those areas. They know if there's an unusual activity in those areas. So the information that is passed to us from this community is key in addressing some of these challenges. And as soon as we get these informations and we act on it promptly, it will be able to save lives and secure the parks.
ACG Mohammed Kabir, thank you so much for your time. We wish you all the best, and I salute all the rangers who put their lives on the line daily to secure our forest. Yes. Well done.
Before I close, I would want to also use this opportunity to express our appreciation to our Honorable Minister, Malam Balarabe Abbas Law, for ensuring that the environment under his leadership, the Ministry of Environment under his leadership, is well taken care of. And we want to use this opportunity also to call on him to ensure that the budgetary allocation to the National Park Service is improved. Thank you very much.
Noted. Thank you very much, ACG. We'll take a break. Do stay tuned.
When the rain comes, some see water, others see a test of survival. But when the water rises, it tests the roads and buildings. It asks how far people will go to protect the work that feeds their families. In Lagos, many traders are thinking beyond the ordinary to keep their livelihoods afloat. Sometimes, the smallest things carry the longest stories. A fermented seed, known by different names across Nigeria, continues to season meals, sustain livelihoods, and connect generations. These and more this Sunday, 9 p.m. on the network service of the NTA Newsline, where stories touch the heart.
The gains in the fight against insecurity. Security agencies on top of the situation. Nigerians will stop sleeping with one eye open. In this episode of NTA Tuesday Live, coming up on the 28th of July 2026, conversations will focus on the fight against insecurity. NTA Tuesday Live comes up every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. Incisive and educative. Don't miss it.
Every day, across forests, highways, towns, and villages, brave men and women stand watch so that Nigeria can sleep. They leave their families behind, confront danger head-on, and make sacrifices many of us will never see. Yet, the enemies of our nation continue their assault. They target our children. They murder innocent citizens. They force families from their homes. They turn thriving communities into places of fear and uncertainty. Their goal is simple: to break our spirit, divide our people, and steal the future of our nation. But Nigeria is stronger than terror. As we demand greater accountability, stronger security measures, and more effective action from those entrusted with our safety, we must also play our part. Support our security forces. Salute their gallantry. Stand with those who stand for us. If you see something, say something. Let us be our brother's keeper. We must never surrender to fear, despair, or hopelessness. This is not the time for division, not by tribe, not by religion, not by region, not by political party. Because terror recognizes no ethnicity, no faith, and no ideology. Its enemy is all of us. And together, united as one people, we can defeat it. For our children, for our communities, for our future, for Nigeria. Join the movement. Stand for our country. Stand for one another. Hashtag Unite Against Terror.
Thank you for staying tuned. As part of ongoing efforts to encourage healthy living and enhance productivity in the public service, the Federation of Public Service Games held another edition of its monthly fitness exercise in Abuja. Oche Ngbede reports.
Of the Federation's monthly walk and jog exercise again recorded an impressive turnout. Held at the training pitch of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja, participants took part in a series of aerobic exercises aimed at promoting healthy living and improving productivity in workplace through regular physical activity. The Permanent Secretary, Service Welfare Office, Garba Osman, who represented the head of service of the Federation and served as captain for the month, praised the overwhelming participation, describing it as a clear demonstration of public service commitment to healthy living and improved service delivery.
Monthly walking jogging is actually an exercise that actually rejuvenates the workforce. And this is just one of our various programs that the Office of Head of Civil Service of the Federation is encouraging.
It allows you to interact with other people from other organizations, but apart from that, exercise is good for health itself.
With another successful outing concluded, participants are already looking ahead to the next monthly exercise as preparations continue for the 2026 Federation of Public Service Games. In Abuja, Oche Ngbede, NTA News.
All right, let's get more sport news with Francisca. Francisca, I didn't see you anywhere near the fitness exercise. Were you there?
Of course, I wasn't there, but then my colleagues were there.
Okay.
Now, welcome to Sports Updates. The National Sports Commission has increased performance bonuses and instant cash rewards for Team Nigeria athletes competing at the Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games. NSC Chairman Malam Shehu Diko said the improved package is aimed at boosting the team's performance. Gold medalists will now receive $10,000, silver medalist $5,000, and bronze medalist $3,000, with parts of each rewards paid instantly and the balance transferred to the athlete's account. Diko said the increase followed his meeting with Team Nigeria in Aberdeen. He disclosed that all gold medalists have already received the revised rewards, while silver medalists have also received their instant cash payments. Coaches will earn $5,000 for every gold medal won by their athletes. Diko added that athletes received a daily allowance of $200, while coaches get $250. He said the enhanced welfare package reflects the NSC's commitment to motivating Team Nigeria throughout the game. Elsewhere, Olympic champion Noah Lyles produced a world-leading performance of 9.79 seconds to win the men's 100 meters at the U.S. Athletics Championships in New York. The 29-year-old recorded his personal best sets while winning Olympic gold in Paris in 2024 and improved on the previous world-leading mark of 9.82 seconds set by Jamaica's Oblique Seville in June. Ronnie Baker finished second in 9.88 seconds, urging Kenny Bednarik, who posted the same time, while former world champion Christian Coleman placed fourth in 9.93 seconds. Well, that's your sports. It's back to you, Ruth.
Thank you so much, Francisca. All right, let's check out the weather for tomorrow. We'll be back.
Joining us, we're beginning to see storm activities moving into the country, and these will keep
areas within the country busy with rainfall through the evening. As these storms gradually weaken overnight, dominants are expected to cross parts of Plateau and Nasarawa State through the Federal Capital Territory and into Niger and also Kebbi State by Sunday morning. Elsewhere, light rain showers are expected over parts of Ebonyi and also the South-South region. As we head into Sunday afternoon, storm activity is expected to become more widespread across most parts of the north and the central region. Meanwhile, rainfall over the southern cities, including Ekiti, Ondo, Osun, some parts of the south-south and the southeast, are expected to be lighter and less intense. And that's your forecast. Thank you for watching.
All right, there you have it. And before we go, let's tell you that tomorrow, July 26th, is World Day for Grandparents and the Elderly. It is a day to celebrate the grandparents and the elderly by reaching out to those who may feel lonely or forgotten. And this year's theme, very interesting, I Will Never Forget You. It captures a message of comfort and hope for grandparents and elderly people, as well as a reminder to families and communities not to forget them, but rather to recognize them as precious presence and a blessing. So reach out to your grandparents, the elderly in your community, and get connected. Well, for me, my paternal or maternal grandparents may not be alive, but I consider a lot of people who I respect so much as my grandparents, and I celebrate them. So let's keep the family united. And that's Weekend File. I'm Ruth Aguele. Good night.